Hey, what's up, guys? So, you know the news, you know what's been happening lately, and it is another big scandal again, leaving millions and millions of people with losses. I talk about this all the time, man, when it comes to forex trading, when it comes to all these trading platforms, when it comes to, where you put your money. I say so much. I can't really count the number of videos I've done just telling you to be sure where you put your money. Just telling you that, hey, guys, make sure you know the broker. Make sure you understand the history. Make sure you understand how it works. Make sure you know if they have like a proper, maybe physical office where you can actually visit and see. Like, I talk about everything, and this is actually a pointer of everything that is wrong with how we invest. It's a pointer of the greed that we have when we invest. It's a pointer of how much we want to get rich overnight. And this getting rich overnight is really impacting us negatively. And in the process, we lose loads of money, guys. We lose loads of money. So if you haven't heard, or if you're living under a rock, then we have the latest scandal, which is like a Ponzi scheme as well. And this latest scandal is involving CBEX. It's a crypto trading platform. It's a digital currency trading platform. These platforms are some of the most difficult to regulate, most difficult to work with. But anyway, this is the new scandal in town. If you haven't heard, Nigerians and mainly Kenyans have lost lots of money. Of course, not just Nigerians and Kenyans, but there are other countries. But these two countries have like the biggest, population or number of investors who are using this platform. And man, people are crying. People borrowed money. Someone put in 4 million Kenya shillings, from the bank. Someone took money from friends, and it was also operating like a Ponzi scheme, which I'll talk about in a few minutes. The red flags that you could actually see in this kind of platform, and what I always talk about, like, hey guys, if you're putting your money somewhere, please be sure, be certain, know exactly what you're getting yourself into. At least you might not be 100% secure, because investing in itself is a risk, but to a good extent, you should do your due diligence. Invest with a big company that even if it goes down, you did your best. And also invest with a company that, there is some kind of fallback. There's some kind of insurance. There's some kind of, something that can be done to even recover just part of your money. I'm not saying that people who invest with these things are stupid. I'm not saying they don't know what they're doing. But to some extent, it's basically a self-inflicted injury. It's a self-inflicted pain most of the time. That's the truth. So you might not be stupid, but you might just have lots of greed, right? And you might also just be wanting too much too soon. And you might not want to go through the normal process of people making money, work hard, make money, invest in normal assets that give you normal returns. Because the crux of the matter here is that if someone is going to give you money as a return on investment, that person is making money from somewhere. And I speak about this all the time. These are some of the things you want to look into. You want to look at many different things. The first thing you want to look at is, if I come to you today and I tell you I'm going to give you so much money, I'm going to give you a percentage return of, let's say, 100% return, or, in a month, or 30% return in a month, everything else you've had in your life, everything else around you that does not give anywhere near 10% or 11% or 15%. The best ones could be giving you 16, 17%. If you're looking at around you in Africa, the best investments that, you don't get to do the work, leave alone businesses, investments like debt securities, like stocks, will give you anything 15% range, right? And most of them way less than that as well. So if someone comes to you and tells you they want to give you 30%, 100% return within a very short time period, you should have a brain. Honestly, this is where I say the stupidity comes in to some extent. You should have a brain to ask yourself, where is this person making this money? Because every other investment, we do know where they make money. And I always mention in my channel that if someone is going to do anything for you to give you money on your investment, ask them how they are making their money. If it's a business, you know that someone could be making money by putting a markup, right? If I go to a restaurant, I know they're making their money by putting a markup based on their expenses, right? If I'm dealing with, let's say, someone in real estate, I know they're putting a markup on that real estate sale, so they're making their money that way. If I'm dealing with someone in stocks, for instance, I know they're putting a commission that I have to pay, and there are certain fees, management fees, that I pay annually in all my platforms, right? I pay some management fee. So, and they give me reasonable returns. They don't give me crazy returns, right? And I invest with very well-known big companies. I'm not saying they cannot fall, but at least I know for sure that they are legitimate companies. They have offices that I can physically visit. But if someone comes to me and tells me they're going to give me 100% return, that's a big red flag. 100% return, and you want to give me this money without telling me exactly how you're making the money. Because if I have a place to make money, that I can make 100% return on my money in a very short time period, Why do I need to tell you about it? Why do I need to involve people? I just need to sit down, put money, double and double and double, compound the money as I make my hundreds and hundreds of returns. If I can make 100% return and give it back to you, why don't I just put in my money or my family or something, I don't need your money. I don't need anyone else. That's a money minting machine. So the first red flag is, if someone is promising you high returns, avoid that kind of trading. Avoid that kind of investment, because it's not realistic. If there's no clear way in which they're making that money, it's not realistic. Unless you're doing a business, a clear business, and they're like, this is my business, it gives me this profit because this is how I put my markup, that's a different case. But where you're putting your money to work for you and you're not directly involved, you need to know what's happening to get that kind of return. So this platform was giving people almost 100% return, sometimes 30% return in, 30 days. 100% in 30 days. You would be, to some extent, stupid to get into that kind of deal. If you're getting into this kind of deal, then get in knowing that you're going to lose your money, or you will lose your money at some point. I know there's some smart people who will say, hey, you know what, Ken? Because they usually lure people in, they give you time so you can put in more money. They're very smart. They've studied psychology of people and psychology of greed and hope, What they do is that they know the first time that you'll put in money, you'll be very fearful, you make some little money, you withdraw the money, right? And they always know that. They know that trend as well. They'll follow you, they'll give you a first withdrawal, second withdrawal, even third withdrawal if you want. And then you bring in more money and you bring in more people. You refer more people, because with this one, it was about referral. And that's how they lure you in. Then within no time, you put in all your life savings in there. And when they know that they have enough money from you and you don't have any more, that's when the shit hits the fan, as they say. So, guys, these are clear red flags. Someone is telling you, hey, I'm going to give you more money in a very short period of time. Someone is, luring you in with like small amounts, withdrawals. They can allow you to withdraw and stuff. I'm like, someone allowing you to withdraw money is not an indication that it's legitimate and genuine. That's not an indication. You can withdraw money 100 times, but the 101th time when you're going to withdraw your money, you will find it locked. And that is the time you will have everything you have in your life put in there, because they have bought your trust, and now you know that nothing is going to happen, and that's when it actually happens. So of course, people came one day and they couldn't access their funds. The third thing is that in the crypto world, I say all the time, crypto is less regulated. And someone asked me recently on my channel why I don't talk about crypto as much. It's because it's so hard to advise people on what to invest in and how to invest in crypto because of the regulation around it. But now there are other ways in which you can invest in crypto with very I would say very minimal risks, right? But most of these unregulated assets, digital assets, it becomes very difficult to track them. It becomes very difficult to know who's behind it. It becomes very difficult. Even right now that they're saying the Nigerian Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, Interpol, FBI, and all these international agencies are trying to nab these people, it won't be that easy. It will be a web of, people who have created a proper Ponzi scheme here. And so it won't be that easy to actually get to the bottom of this issue, trust you me, and they might not have enough interest to do it. These are some red flags that you need to know. Digital assets, that especially crypto, which are not properly regulated, you'd rather invest in them in very proper brokers platforms. That way, at least the asset can still go down itself, the digital asset itself can actually go to zero, but at least you're reducing your risk by investing in a proper platform. So if you invest in a particular coin, let's say Trump coin or whatever, and it goes to zero, then the coin has gone to zero. But at least you're limiting your risk by investing in the Trump coin in a proper platform. So now you're taking the risk of a bad platform, or you didn't understand the platform, and you're taking the risk of the coin itself. So of course, like I said, many Kenyans and Nigerians have lost money in this thing. And like I said, this is all about greed. People always wanting to get rich quick. People wanting quick money. And this is what has happened right now. People are looking for 100% return in 30 days. How is that even possible? And then, one day you wake up and then you can't access your money. Now, the worst bit is that they're actually asking you to pay some verification fee for you to access your money. They are still trying to get as much money from you as possible. So they still asked people to pay around $200 to get their money or to verify themselves, which means they still made a lot of money in that process. So you can see how crazy and how brazen these people are. They know very well what they are doing. They know how connected they are. They know that you won't really catch up with them. Even when they have actually just locked your money, they still come to you and ask you for more money. It's so bad. And now the other thing about this that was a big red flag is, anytime you get into some kind of investment whereby you have to refer people, guys, you don't need to refer people in an investment. You make money, you put money somewhere to work for you. There is no idea of, hey, you need to bring in more people, bring in more people. The investment that's begging you to bring in more people is already a big red flag. It's a Ponzi scheme whereby you bring more people, you earn more money. You bring more people, you earn more money. It's a proper Ponzi scheme. And you know how it works. They do not have the money to give back to people who have invested already. So they need new people to give them money for them to pay the rest of the people who have been investing for a long time. And then when they get to a point where they can't actually sustain that cycle, what happens? They disappear or it collapses. Proper Ponzi scheme. If you're getting into it, know that you're getting into a Ponzi scheme. You might make some money, like gambling, but at the end of the day, you will cry. EFCC is trying to follow up on this. I don't think the Kenyan authorities are trying to follow on anything really. This basically, if you lost your money, that money is gone. But guys, look out for these red flags. I've mentioned these things so many times. Someone is promising you high returns. Someone is promising you to bring in more people and refer more people. Someone is promising you things that are just practically impossible. And again, with the crypto world, be careful with the platforms you invest in. The other bit is that even though sometimes you might think these platforms are licensed and they claim to be licensed by different people, you have to check if they are licensed in your jurisdiction. You have to check that you can access these people. You have to check that they have the right licenses. Some of them just claim to be licensed. Like they were saying they were licensed, but they are operating in Nigeria actually without proper license in Nigeria. They even lied to people that they had license from Canada, they had license from the US. Verify these licenses. There are many ways in which you can verify them. The easiest way is go with the platforms that are well known. Go with the platforms that are established. Go with platforms that you can actually trace and see that really they are licensed, as they say. Most of these crypto platforms are not licensed, but they come and claim that they are licensed. And you believe them, you give them your money with the belief that they are licensed. And then when this thing happens, you have no recourse. You don't just pick any random company online. They say on their website they are licensed, and then you believe that they are licensed. So make sure you actually get some more information about the licenses as well, and what jurisdictions are they licensed in. This is actually an open field. When it comes to crypto investing, it's an open field. It's difficult to actually regulate. It's difficult to understand some of these things, but you can do your due diligence. You can try not to let your desperation and need to get rich get into your way of actually building proper wealth, because you will end up losing money. These things have been happening so many times. Like every single year, there's a big company that's losing money with the investors' money, millions of money. And then when you look at it clearly, you see the loads of red flags that people just ignored because people are desperate to make money. People are desperate to have some quick cash. But people are actually shunning normal investments that we talk about in the channel. I talk about money market funds. I talk about bonds. I talk about, treasury bills. I talk about stocks. I talk about things that you could usually use, the things that you use every single day of your life, things that you've seen them, things like Facebook, you use them every day, things like Instagram, you use it every day, it's there, WhatsApp, it's there. People are shunning these proper companies to invest in, but you want to rush into something you don't even understand. You don't understand its regulation, you don't understand its platforms properly, you don't understand the operating foundation within the world, globally speaking. It becomes very difficult to actually help you. So guys, as you start your investment journey, please be aware of these kind of companies, be aware of these pitfalls, because when you lose this kind of money, especially if it's been like your life savings, it is almost impossible to recover it, within the same time period, because again, you're dejected. It takes you years back. It's been years of work to make that kind of money. Like someone put in 4 million Kenya shillings, it becomes difficult. So let's be, a bit more observant. Let's be careful. And when it comes to this online stuff, let's just give it time, guys. Give it time. Anyway, guys, I hope this is helpful, guys. Let me know if you know anyone who lost money. I'm sorry, but you know what? We keep going. You learn your lessons. If you make the same mistake twice, then now at least we know that you are advanced. If it's your first time, you made a mistake. We move forward. Start the process afresh. Start investing diligently and be committed to the process. Till next time, I'm out.